This is Rumor Has It, and I'm Jacki Bray. Now, this story has to do with Michael Vick. In a recent interview with NBC News, Vick stated that in the future he would like to own another dog. Now, if you're a PETA supporter like myself, you are probably very outraged at the fact that Michael Vick is already thinking about trying to get another dog after only being out of prison for less than 3 years. Now, I understand he has children, and he says that he feels really bad when he has to tell his daughters that they aren't allowed to have a dog because of him. But this is really his own fault, and I know Jayar has some very strong opinions about Michael Vick.
Well, I think everyone kind of always sees, whenever we talk about Michael Vick, it's not a matter of what he did and I'm for what he did and all that stuff. He served his time. He was, quote, rehabilitated. That's what the point of prison is, right?
Supposedly. If
you're not going to be there for life. And yeah, and then so the thing is I don't agree that he should be able to have a dog. Never again.
Okay.
You lose that right. He gets to say, I want to have a dog. I mean, he gets to have the feeling of wanting to have a dog again. You know, he just the fact that he can't do it is fine, though. But you can move on. You're a grown-ass man. Your kids will get over it. You know,
right.
There's a lot of kids that may not be able to have a dog because they live in an apartment. You know, something like that. So it's I don't feel sorry for him, but his desire to do it, I don't think we should get so upset about.
I'm upset about it. I'm just going to say, from a guy who was, now allegedly, he would kill dogs by electrocuting them, he would drown them, slam them to the ground, and hang them. I don't even think he should be allowed within 100 yards of a dog park. Like, it makes me, like, worried about my own dog safety.
Well, okay, so the thing is, he did it to his dogs, to his own dogs, which is a horrible, terrible thing to do. And with all these types of sports that involve animals, dog racing, they do brutal things to those dogs. The way they keep them is horrible. But the owners of these dogs, we look at them like, oh, they're dog owners. No, they just do a different kind of sport where it's brutal to dogs, and it's not direct, vicious killing, which is what this is. I still put this at the lowest level. It really is. I want everybody to understand that.
Okay.
So, okay, he's not allowed to own a dog. Can he own a cat? What if the cat starts scratching? You know what I mean? There's things that cats do to each other too. What if there's a cat fight? You know, there's things that happen. And so is it cats? Does he not have any birds? Can he not have a parrot? He might teach it to say dirty words. I don't know. What's the level of our mistrust for this guy?
I don't trust him at all. Like, I get it. And in the video he said, okay, well, I grew up around dog fighting. That's no excuse to me. And if he could just sit there, watch these dogs brutally attack each other, and when they lose, he could actually have the power within him to kill a dog and be able to stand there and watch it. I don't, like, who is to say he wouldn't do that to a sweet little kitty or maybe a parrot that says dirty words once in a while?
Now, the thing is, I'm sure people watching will have, you know, a lot of people that are inside, or not inside of the dog fighting world, but at least know the details of it. I don't know the reason for killing them afterwards. Maybe they're so brutally beat up or destroyed that it's one of those things where their mindset, I don't understand it, but their mindset could be like, oh, my dog that I love is like limping around and half his face is hanging off from this fight I just had him in. It's best just put him out of his misery. Like, we put dogs down every day in these kennels and stuff. They're unwanted dogs and unadopted dogs, all this stuff. And it's considered humane. We're like, we control the pet population. It's all these different reasons people do it. And if you're a real purist, you're like, don't kill any dogs. Let them roam the streets and accidentally get hit by cars. You know, that's an extreme that I don't really think you're saying. But I'm just saying the mindset could be, he's like, I love dogs growing up. And then part of the mindset is, I love my strong dog that can beat up and whoop up and possibly kill another dog. It's part of that mentality of it. And it's a screwed up, backwards mentality. But it's a weird love relationship. I believe him when he says it.
I get what you're saying, but I think the whole concept of him owning a dog is kind of like letting a pedophile adopt a child. It's just, you're just going in like the complete, like the worst direction ever. I mean, he's getting rehabilitated. He's working with the Humane Society. I think those are great steps, and I think he just needs more time to really grasp what he did. I mean, maybe he needs to go see the dogs that were adopted out from his house and see the damage that was done and all the work that had to go in to make these dogs be able to function around other people. But I mean, he did it for 5 years. If it was just a couple times, Like, maybe I would be more forgiving, but for 5 years.
I think they knew about it for 5 years. They probably did it for longer than that.
Okay, well, that's
Which is even
so
worse.
much worse.
Yeah, it's even worse. Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things. I understand that. And I think it's the way it should be. It's working out the way it should.
Right.
But I think he can say it. And then when people say it's fake for doing these appearances and stuff, fine, it's their opinion. But I guess maybe I'm naive. I mean, for the time that we think, I'd like to believe in a level of our justice system that he goes in, he sees what happened to him. He lost all this money from his football career,
right?
And he's making a professional comeback as far as his pro career, sports career. But there's some parts you really can't ever tie up. And I mean, it doesn't hurt me to believe him that he's saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go and speak for the Humane Society." And if you don't believe him, maybe some kids that do believe him will think differently. And if it affects that much, I'm happy with it.
Maybe. I mean, I just think that he's really only been out of prison for like less than 3 years. I just don't think that he should be talking about owning dogs right now. I mean, I do work for Humane Society, volunteer, shovel poop, do whatever you got to do to, I mean, I'm in PR, I get it. You got to change the image, but don't talk about owning a dog. Because people like me who are big PETA supporters, that pisses us off.
It's what I love, and it's true. It's a bad PR move. It makes him look bad.
Totally.
There's no way anybody's gonna believe that.
Talk up
like
the good things. He barely mentions really what he's been doing. He touches on it, but then it just goes back. Oh, I'd really love to have a dog. I'd really love to have a dog.
But see, that's what I love. He's being real. He
well,
can't help it.
Well, let me be real. I'd love for Paul Walker to put a ring on it, but that's not happening either, okay? He needs to just take a step back and be like, wow, I used to be a heartless individual. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about owning dogs after I killed so many.
But he doesn't think that's why I can believe him. These are reasons I can believe him. And I still don't think he should get it. He thinks he was not a heartless individual. He thinks he was a loving dog owner. Ugh. That's what he thinks. He really thinks that. And if he didn't think that, he'd have to really be deep down just evil and running to put one over on the whole country on camera. Like, I don't think he has enough time to realize that or to plan this.
How does he not think that he isn't a heartless individual? I mean, maybe heartless is a strong word, but
it's a correct word.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're drowning and hanging dogs. Like, I almost feel like he's just kind of making excuses. Like, oh, well, I grew up with it. What was his quote? It is what it is.
Yeah, the culture. Yeah, I grew up with it. He's from Virginia. Yeah, it is what it is, and you can't change it. But that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that he says that aren't good for the public to hear.
Yeah, he's just shooting himself in the foot by saying that he would love another dog. I would love for his children to have a dog. I think that's awesome. Everybody should have a family pet. Should he own it? No. Should he be around it? No. It just hurts my heart. So basically, I just want to wrap it up. No, Michael Vick, you will not be owning a puppy anytime soon.
When did it become a puppy? See, now it's a puppy.
You start with a puppy, and then it grows up into a dog.
If you adopt a nice, strong pit and don't fight
really? With the pit bulls again? He needs a really sweet, like, wiener dog or something, a nice little companion dog who will not fight or be aggressive.
Okay.